Good day and welcome to quick conversation around stewardship and its relationship to dominion. When man was created in Genesis, it says, "Let us make man in our own image and likeness, and let him have dominion." So remember again, let us make man. So God gets into a program to make man. Later on in Hebrews, the angels ask him, "Who is man that you're mindful of him? Can you tell us about this man that you created?" So he creates him. He knows that he's going to be his representation of earth, and he's going to have dominion to be able to do that. So once he creates man, puts him in a garden and tells him to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish, and have dominion, which I can say have aspects of management. So fruitfulness is required, and that's why a steward is measured on fruitfulness in his ability to manage, as was programmed in creation, through the process of tending and keeping, watching over what God's own is on his behalf. Not for himself, but as a steward that knows I only have a privilege to administer physical things to help me gain entry into spiritual realities. Because you cannot be given spiritual things if you cannot manage physical things. And that's a trade-off of life, and that's what we need to bear in our minds as we walk this journey. So somebody asked, what's the relationship between stewardship and dominion? Only a faithful manager can then be able to enter into the rulership and the kingdom of God and be trusted to execute on his behalf. When we say have dominion, it means be in charge, be in control. A waster cannot be in charge. A waster is out of control. So in our minds, we must keep cognizant of the fact that as stewards, we are managing on behalf of the master. And a good steward is then given entry into the eternal realities, where dominion, which is wielding the keys of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom on behalf of the master, are possible. A manager is one that puts things in control. A manager is one that brings the mind of organization into space. But this man needs to be hearing from his master. So we're going to come in and bring the kingdom of God, of heaven on earth as it is in heaven. Then you have to be connected to hearing and hearing as he instructs us. When you get to that kind of level, instructed by the wisdom of God, tells you, acknowledge me in all your ways, and I will direct your paths, means that I will take you to pleasant places. I will show you and light your path so that your foot will not stumble as in the day or as in the dark. You will be exempted from the issues of life, because a steward then pleases his master, and his master has preserve to make sure that the steward is then on the right path to exercise dominion and rulership on his behalf as he sees it in heaven. So to every steward who is granted physical resources and takes care of them on behalf of the master, the next space he enters is welcome, good and faithful servant. You have gotten 5, now you can get another 5. You have gotten 3 and brought another 3, or another 2 for another 2. But the end game is you enter into spiritual realities. So there's a way to rule. And that way to rule is when a man denies himself of many things and comes to become a true representation of God, where God then can trust to put his resources behind a man. And he knows that this man will not live for himself, or this woman will not live for herself, but will be an exact representation on earth of what God is and what he intends for earth. And everything is geared to mankind. 2 Corinthians 9 talks about seed to the sower and bread to the eater. And it says that to such a person who enters a space of sowing and reaping according to the rules of the kingdom, it says to that man that he will have all sufficiency at all times, in all things, so that grace may abound to every good work. So the target of a steward is that he can abound to every good work. And every good work is tied to effect of mankind. How many people are progressing by your representation? How many institutions are being uplifted by your intervention? Remember, the focus of God is mankind. And if you can become a channel that links the mind of God to mankind, causes their upliftment, causes their progress, causes their establishment, says that he that has pity on the poor lendeth to God, and God is no man's debtor. There's a way to live life. Let's be faithful stewards. Let's then enter the preserve of dominion, which means we can then be entrusted to effect the mind of God on earth. And remember, everything is targeted to mankind as representations of God on earth. And being able to uplift these resources and people that have been given to us, then God can say, my kingdom has come. My will has been done on earth as heaven has designated it. It is doable, and the challenge for us is to understand. When understanding kicks in, by application of knowledge, then we can walk in this wisdom and enter rest in the day we are in. It's a new day.